we'll see what we get. Now, the money flow tracker is a methodology, is a system that I've been trading with for almost 4 years. And this is for the YouTube people. And I use a online trade journal. I'll move this out of the way so you guys can see it. I use an online trade journal. And let's do October. We had a lot of no trade days. And why? Well, because I live in Central Florida, and we had Hurricane Milton that came through the second week of October, so I didn't trade Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. No, this was Helene, and then we had Milton, and then I didn't trade on Thursday and Friday. So if we look at let's look at our equity curve for the year. Come on. Why is this not loading quick? Let me log back in. Oh, there we go. Here's our equity curve for the year. Let's see. So every day at the end of the trading day, I do a trade performance, and I download it into an Excel worksheet, and I click here, and this is the one from yesterday. I've already loaded in there. And this brings in all my trades. Even brings in the trade ID from NinjaTrader. Okay. All right. So I got everybody in the trade room here. Got the whole group in here today. We have some new people. Victoria's new. Steve is new. Let's see. We have a bunch of ladies here today. We have Kimberly. We have Leslie. We have Victoria, Teresa. Honestly, women make better traders than men. It's a fact. All right. So anybody have any questions? Can everybody else hear me okay? On YouTube. I have my mic up as high as I can. Let me see. If I have no trade days, do I get a payout every 2 weeks? Your payouts have nothing to do with your trade days. If you have to trade a certain amount of days to pass your valuation, it doesn't matter. Those days don't count to pass the evaluation. Victoria, didn't I give you access to the room drive? Do you have a Gmail account? Let's see, I have, let's see here. I have your email from the chat, so from the room. Okay, I'm gonna send it to your Hotmail. If you don't get it or it doesn't work, let me know. Because some be better if you put your Gmail account email in, but the market just opened, so I can do that afterwards. Okay. No, we don't usually trade the first couple of minutes of the market. Yeah, go ahead and put your Gmail account in the questions box, Victoria. Okay. And why don't we trade the first couple of minutes? Because we are letting everything shake out from the open. The question, GH, was if you have no trade days, does that count as a trading day for the evaluations? Okay, I sent it to you, Victoria, to your Gmail. So I would suggest, I'll show you real quick because we want to trade. Would be go to the room drive, click on training videos, and then click on money flow tracker video document. And there's some links in there. Okay. Actually, I missed this one here. Okay. And the reason why we don't trade the first 5 minutes or 3 minutes is because we get a lot of this stuff. Long wick up, long wick down, especially on YM and NQ. Whatever we trade with Unirankos, so when we look at multiple time frames, it's looking at range bars. Like, for instance, on CL, well, let me do one that I don't have up in the screen here. So on the bias, which is the colored background, It's using a 34 range, and there's another one that it uses. Sure, Duke. Since we trade with trends, it keeps us out of a lot of choppiness in the market. It won't give you setups if you don't have a trend. Yes, Kurt. We have templates and different bar sizes for different markets. Like NQ, we trade an 8 Unorenko, and YM, we trade a 4. And CL, we trade a 2. And one other thing is this number in the top left-hand corner that says MA diff, this is how far we are away from the 50. So when the MA diff is too high, which we have different MA diffs for different markets, we don't take trades because 80 to 90% of the time we'll get a pullback candle within a couple bars. So it's kind of our way of looking at overbought, or what they normally say oversold. We don't use those terms. We just look. The market's already run too far. The MA diff is too high. Why would you want to take a trade if you're expecting a pullback candle within a couple bars? And unfortunately, that's just the way traders don't understand why they get in a trade and then the market pulls back on them as soon as they get in a trade. And that voice you're hearing is telling us what markets have a C2 indicator. So it says YMC2 means we have the C2 indicator here on YM. So since we don't trade without it, we put alerts on that indicator. So when we hear it, we go and we look at the chart. So look, if you look at CL, what did it do here? It broke out of the range here and then came right back in. So what I would do would be basically move it up here. And we're below the VWAP, so we can only take short trades. If we're above the VWAP, we only take long trades. Right, and that's why on the money flow tracker, you see inside the Renko bars, you have these wicks. It's telling us what's going on inside the bar. So if you have a red outline candle, means that, to keep things simple, means there's more sellers than buyers in that candle. And if a green outline candle, means we have more buyers than sellers. So when you're looking at this, that's the way I think about it. I don't want to take a short trade if I have a green candle. So when we, let's say, I don't know, let's say we break this pivot. Well, the way we trade it is it has to break by 3/4 of the length of the candle, the bar. And then we have to wait for a pullback candle before we place our order. And that's how we sidestep a lot of losing trades. Exactly, Kurt. And I've been saying this for the last month in the room, that it's going to be choppy until after the elections. And you guys in the trading room, you know what I'm talking about, because we've been seeing this every day for the last month or so. And when you look at a 10-minute chart, you can see exactly what's going on here. Right? Bottom of the range, bounce off it. YM ran down, grabbed all these orders, and went right back up. So I actually learned about the markets by a friend of mine, a guy that is a trader. He's been a trader for many, many, many years. And he shared some things with me, and he made me promise I wouldn't share with anybody. So I said, okay. And he has passed on, so now I've been sharing this with people in the room on how the market makers, how the markets are manipulated, and certain areas where we don't want to trade into. So like, for instance, if I was going to trade copper and we had everything set up, I would not take a trade in the shaded area. And why? It's because it already ran up here and got rejected. So, and it ran down here and got rejected. So these are areas that I call them the areas of concern, because those are areas I have to be concerned about. That's why I call them areas of concern. Those are areas that I don't want to trade into. So GH is asking, what's included in your subscription? How can we best monitor your trades? Which symbol has the best overall trade win rate? You know what? I can't say that one market has better win rate than other markets. I can pull up my EdgeWonk. Let's see. And do a chart lab performance by instrument. Okay. So I think starting next week, we're gonna start trading gold again. But we do really well on the MNQ swing trade. We do really well on, I don't want to cover the chart, so we do really well on YM. YM and NQ, CL is good, and we're going to start, we stopped trading gold for a while, but we're going to start trading gold again. I think what we're going to do is we're going to switch we're going to add gold. We were getting a lot of trades on copper for a while, and now it's just kind of, it's kind of been quiet. So I like to trade, personally, I like to trade the commodities. I like to trade crude oil, copper, gold. See, like we have a C2 on NQ right now, but we don't have the acceleration dots. And there it goes away from it. And we're below the VWAP. So, let's see, what do I say? So I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm just gonna Rox. Rayux. I can't pronounce it, so says you're trading for many years. Have you noticed a change in behavior indicators? I mean, are they working exactly the same in the past? They work exactly the same in the past. And so this number on the bottom right-hand corner of the chart, this is counting how many contracts are being traded on NQ per minute. So right now we only have 460. On YM we have 97. Copper and crude oil are both low. So normally on NQ we're looking for at least 1,500 contracts. We just had news come out. That's why we had a little jump here. So this resets back to 0 every minute. Okay. Let me go ahead and make these candles a little bit smaller. Okay, we don't have the multiple time frame Laguerre, red. Rue. Okay. It's still not red. It just turned red. I was just going to place my order. It would have gotten canceled. When it pulled back halfway up, I was going to just sell on down close, and it popped up real quick. So we would have never gotten filled, and that order would have gotten canceled. And that's what I mean by we sidestepping losing trades. All right, so I'm going to take this range box off of here. And let's slide this down a little bit here. Its market is just moving really fast. Okay, I hate to do this, but I need to step away for a second. Okay, back. All right. So you see how NQ came right down to this pivot, higher time frame support, and bounced right off of it. Went through it a little bit and then bounced right off of it. All right, well, if you want, just email Rory if you have a question for him. So most likely we won't be taking a trade on NQ because we'd be trading into this area here. Let's see, NQ. This is the open, the purple line. So we treat that just like any other obstruction, pivot. Because you can see, if you learn how to read the candles, you can see that it came down into here, buyer stepped in, or they're pushing the market back up off the open. Duke says no secrets. GH, Duke says no secrets. All right. You guys okay in the room? Any questions from you? Anybody in the room? Everybody in the room is so good they don't have any questions anymore. All right, Terrence. That's exactly what we're doing, just watching and waiting. Been doing a lot of watching and waiting the last month or so. But the elections will be over soon and things will be better for trading. Have I tried order flow charts? You mean the candles with all the numbers around it? We don't use those. We use our order flow candles. These candles are Right Line Trading's order flow candles. They tell me everything I need to know. Which right now, there's nothing going on. We have YM is down. RTY and Q are up a little, and ES keeps flopping back and forth. Yes, Mike. We have different ATMs for different markets. Just like we have different bar sizes for different markets. I'm not a scalper, Duke. You can use the NDT to scalp, but I'm not a scalper. What I do here in the room, and I've been doing it for over about 3 years now, is just following the rules of the money flow tracker. If I take a trade and it's a setup, right? If we have a good setup, we take the trade. Whether it wins or loses, because you don't know which one's going to be a winner or loser. But Mike, that's your trading on the auto trader, right? One dead Apex account for each trading day? That doesn't sound fair. See, while we're waiting for something to show up, I'm going to show you performance by day. Okay. And I'll just bring this in here real quick. And move these out of the way real quick. So this only goes back 6 months. YM bounced. This goes back 6 months. Look how many winning days we've had, and look how many losing days we've had. And the spaces in between are no trade days. So I really truly believe that the days that we had no trade days, if we would have tried to trade those days, they would have been losing days. But we don't trade those days because we don't get setups. So on choppy days, we don't get setups. And that's fine with me because I'd rather not trade than take a bunch of losing trades. And the and our trade performance reflects that. So I've had many people that came to the money flow tracker and Rightline that said to me that I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have a really nice winning day, then I have a real nice losing day, and then I have a winning day, and then I have 2 losing days. And I understand that because I've been there. Believe me, I've been there. But since I've been training with the money flow tracker, I don't have that many losing days. But I have a lot of no trade days, which you have to believe that it's more important to know when not to trade than when to trade. In other words, we have a saying in this room is, we're not here to make trades. We're here to make money. And because when we have everything lined up and good volume, and we do make money on a consistent basis. And we also keep our money management, we use good money management, put it that way. When I'm down 500 for the day, I stop trading per account. I stop trading. And when I am up, let's say 1,000 for the day or more, it depends on the market, I'll stop trading. But you can look at the volumes on the bottom of the chart. Right? NQ, we're like at probably about 1,100 contracts. YM is kind of low. We're looking at 300-400 contracts. Copper, 100 contracts. And crude oil, this is a good volume on crude oil, 500, 600 contracts. Minimum, we usually don't trade it under 300. And crude oil used to be my favorite instrument to trade. It still is. It just hasn't been doing a whole lot lately. The last few months. It's just kind of in a big range, I guess. Look at crude oil. Let's say on a monthly chart, just to get a understanding on what it's been doing every month. Wow, it's taking a long time to load. Let's go back to this for now. Still loading. I guess, let's switch it to a weekly if it lets me. We'll come back to it. What's going on in this chart here? Oh, it's got a lot of days to load. I don't want to do that. Let's do 365. Okay. These blue lines are the round numbers, so that's why they're like it. But you can see, what has crude oil been doing this whole year? it's just been a big range between 65 and, let's say, 85. And that's all it's been doing. I mean, we've had some really nice trading days this year. So this is from basically June 1st. That one day, 2,600. This day, 1,800. This day, 2,200. This day, 2,500. Best day yet, right here. 3,500 bucks. And the whole thing with us is we're at a 73.17 win rate at a 3.28. So basically 3-to-1 profit factor. So we're risking 1 and making 3. But we're very patient and we wait for a setup. Okay, so Victoria, did you get the link for the room drive? Okay. Did you find that document I was telling you to look at? So if you look at the 10-minute chart of NQ, what are we doing here? Nothing. We're doing nothing. We're chopping around. That's it. YM. The same thing. Just chopping around. But we wait. Yes, Scott, I use Replicanto. I've been using Replicanto for a long time. Okay. So NQ, we're watching here. We need to break this by 3/4 of a candle. Okay. I really wanted. The MA diff now is a little high. Okay, so when the MA diff is too high, you can expect to pull back within a couple of candles. So that's why I didn't take this trade on this pullback, which would have been a losing trade. Yeah, yes, Victoria. It's this one here. In the training videos and the money flow tracker video, this is the main link for the training. And sometimes, you know, you get a fast pullback and then it goes, and we just don't have time to place the trade. The other day, I was really teed off because we had a trade on CL that I placed the order and the market moved so fast that it didn't fill my orders. And it was a great trade. But what are you going to do? See what I mean? When the MA diff gets so high, it pulls back. How many accounts do I trade at a time? Today I'm trading 5. But sometimes what I do is if I have a really choppy day and I don't want to risk 5, I don't want to put on that much risk, I'll turn off a few accounts and maybe trade 2. And that's why people ask me, why do you have 6 or 7 accounts? Actually have more, and I say it's because instead of just trading one big account, and I say, because this way I manage my risk this way. And it's what I do. It's been extremely difficult trading the last 2 months. But let's see what we did. Monthly reports. Okay. All right, since we don't have anything here, right this second, I'll move this out of the way. So look, we started out slow this year. We did great in March, kind of a little bit slow in April, not bad. May, we did okay. June, we had our best month. July, we had a good month. August, we had a good month. And September was kind of slow. And so far this month, we still have time. But, right now, September and October, I think we're kind of slow because nobody knows what's going to happen with the election. I know what's going to happen, but I'm not telling. And then we have the MNQ swing trade that uses the Revolution's Auto Trader. So see, we had nothing today. We didn't have nothing yesterday. Had this trade yesterday. I didn't get that. It was too early in the morning. We've had a few nice trades. But, like when NQ is just shopping around in a range, MNQ is not going to give us any entries. CTG is asking, are those one account or no, that's multiple accounts. So what's the difference if I trade one account and trade 10 contracts, or I trade 5 accounts and I trade 2 contracts? Kurt, what do you think is going to happen? Well, CTG, we all have our own ways of trading, and it's not meaningless. Exactly, Rue. I know guys that are trading 20 accounts. Okay? So if you trade 20 accounts and you make $100 on a trade, you made $2,000 for the day. Right? It's basically the same as if you had a $300,000 Apex account and you traded, 40 contracts. Rue, you're a scalper. I don't know. I've tried being a scalper before. It's just not my personality. And that's, everybody has their own trading personality. And I don't want to be a scalper. Because first of all, you do a lot of trades, commissions eat you up in the long run. Oh, I forgot to give you guys the links for the specials that they're having right now. So Buellnox is running 83% off. So here is the link. Actually, I'll put them in both. Here's the link. Here's the link for you guys in YouTube. And here's the one for Apex. That is 80% off. Okay. I'm doing some research on a couple other prop firms, but there's so many out there now. I can't believe how many there are. But I do trust. I've been trading with Buellnox for probably 4 years now. Never had a problem getting a payout. I've been trading with Apex probably about the same. Well, actually, since Apex, I actually know the owner of Apex, Daryl Martin. What do you call it? I've never had a problem getting a payout from them. They came up with a lot of rules, and then they took away most of the rules they came up with recently. Because now all these prop firms are all competing with each other. Okay. So NQ, I don't want to trade into here, even though there's a lot of room into here. It says it's expired, Mike. Let me go check that. I didn't check that today yet. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, that is expired. Sorry. It expired on the 22nd. Oh, I got a better one for you. How about 90% off instead of 83% off there, Mike? Let me go ahead and change this coupon code. So use MTF90 and it'll give you 90% off. I'll post it again here. Here's the right one for the room. And here's the one for the other one. Okay, there's the right link. It's monthly. It's lifetime. It's not saying that it anything else. NeuroStreet is creating its... No, there's not a short on YM because we don't have a colored background. And we're getting, because we're in a range here, we're getting the C2s at the bottom of the range and the top of the range. Because in order for 4 time frames to line up, it takes a little movement. We're just not getting any setup because the markets have just stayed within their ranges. Why didn't I take that trade? Really, Serenius, basically because NQ has just been doing this. And it's been just, probably should have had an area right here from this high here because it's just been staying in this range. I'm being very conservative, Venus, right now on taking trades. Because everything is just kind of basically doing nothing. I really like to see a solid trend. And we're not in that here. Let's make this Okay? We're not in that here. We're just bouncing around the VWAP. And that's all we've been doing. So I'm more conservative today and being more cautious because of what the markets are doing in general. That's why I always watch a 5-minute chart and a 10-minute chart, just so that I can feel what's going on, you know, what the market's actually doing. You can't trade this, okay? You can't trade this and have high probability trades. All right? You can't tell me that, well, this is going to come down to here, or this is going to break out to here. So that's why I am being very conservative and very cautious on trading the last couple weeks, actually. Yeah, you know, I always watch a 5-minute chart in my other monitor because I show that monitor sometimes. It helps me see what the markets are doing better. Some people, it doesn't. Like I know Craig, he likes to watch the range bars. Well, the range bars don't tell me anything. But I understand what you're saying. You know, you see a setup, you take the trade. But I guess because I've been doing this so long that, you know, you kind of get a feel for what's going on. And right now, today, there's nothing. There's just a lot of chop. And that's why people say to me when they come in, they say, well, you know, I make money one day, I lose money the next day. I make money one day, I lose money the next day. And that's why they're on that merry-go-round. Especially with NQ. What is the max funding for Buellmax? I don't understand, Ronald. What do you mean max funding? You can get, let's see, you can get a $250,000 account. They have end of day scaling. Okay, so CL. Let's get a pullback. Come on. More. I need at least. I don't think this is going to continue here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Damn it. Strategy. You know what? I think I can just use this template. CL. natural gas. 35. Let's see. So 2 and 2. Okay. Okay. Natural gas. Okay. Okay, so CL is giving us that pullback. Just the volume is so low. All right, we'll sell it down close here. So we sidestepped another losing trade here. Come on. Because what did CL do? It ran down here, grabbed all these breakout traders, and now it's stopping them out. $250,000, Ronald. What are my trading hours? Well, I open the room at 9, and depending on the markets, if they're really slow, we usually end the room around 11:15. If it's markets are trending and things are moving, we stay longer, or until we hit our profit target. I don't trade usually after 12. I only trade in the mornings. So we wait for a pullback candle once we break an obstruction. And sometimes we don't get a pullback candle when we miss a trade, which is okay because we sidestep far more trades than we miss.
CLC2.
So on copper, the MA diff is a little high. We don't trade above 30. This is at 22. And we got the C2 all the way down here at the bottom of this range. So no trade on copper. We're not going to take a trade on copper right now because, first of all, the MA diff is a little on the high side. and we're losing the C2 here. We only had it on one candle. I prefer to see the C2 coming, you know, like from here all the way to here. When we know we have 4 times, but a one candle C2 is not a one that we take a trade on. Okay, so we're gonna have crude oil, not crude oil, natural gas inventory in 20 seconds. Come on. This little move here on crude oil was just off of the natural gas news. Sometimes it pops like that. Okay. Look at NQ. Can you trade this? You could say, oh, well, I could have bought at the bottom of the range and sold at the top of the range. Yeah, I've heard that hundreds of times. You could have. Or if you did. So it's got to understand what is CT is which indicator. I don't know what CT. Oh, C2 is the C2 indicator. Like here on, this brings in the 4th time frame. This indicator here, the stair-stepping line on top of the candles. So since we don't trade without the C2, I have alerts set on the C2. So when I hear the alert C2, I go and look at that chart. Okay. NQ, we have a flat trend line. YM, we have a flat trend line. Copper, we have a flat trend line. Crude oil, we have a flat trend line. But all we can do is sit here and wait for a setup. All right, I have to step away for about a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Gee, didn't even get a bathroom trade. And NQ is right back here. The volumes are still kind of very low today. I just saw NQ with like 800 contracts. Let's watch CL here. Let's see. Okay. We're going to settle down close on CL. And that's how we sidestep losing trades. That was a good setup. Broke broke higher time frame support. This is the 3/4 candle. This is the pullback candle. And we have a flat trend line. So that's the 3 trades that we sidestepped losing trades. And that's why we wait for the pullback candle. So how's everybody on YouTube liking the money flow tracker so far? Even though we didn't have any follow through on some trades and we sidestepped some losing trades. The trend line is the thick line right here. That's yellow right here on NQ. It's red here on YM. Yep, Serenus. You'll see after the elections, trading will be a lot easier. But friend of mine just Skyped me and asked me how we're doing trading today. And I said, well, we sidestepped a few trades, losing trades, but we really haven't had anything today. He goes, man. He says, I think I'm going to have to come over to the money flow tracker. He says, I'm losing my butt today. I said, I told you, you don't want to listen. We have some very good, successful traders in the trade room. And most of them came into the trade room not being successful traders. And sitting in front of your computer, watching the market and not taking a trade is your job. Just like taking a trade is your job. Your job is to monitor the markets. It's like what a lion does. It stalks its prey. It sits quietly. It waits, and when the time comes, it pounces. And that's what we do. We sit very patiently and we wait for setups. And just because you're sitting here in front of your computer trading doesn't mean that you should push the button. It took me a long time to realize that. A very long time. That it's okay not to trade every day. Because all those days I showed you in my edge wonk that we didn't trade, I believe if we would have tried to trade those days, they would have been all losing days. Now what's NQ doing right now? Nothing. It's just coming down here. And sure, you could have said, oh, I could have sold the top of the channel. I could have bought the bottom of the channel. Yeah, but you didn't know that at the time. Because what would have happened if you would have done that and sold here and the market went that way? YM has a flat trend line. So on crude oil, we don't trade into round numbers. 70, 71, 72. Those act as support and resistance areas. And when CL breaks a resistance area or a support area, and it happens really fast, very cautious. We're very cautious on those because I know CL, I've been trading a long time, and when it makes really fast spurts, most of the time, not every time. Now CL, the MA div is at 30. We don't trade above 30. Yep. So we wouldn't take a trade here because we're at the max MA diff. And we would be expecting a pullback candle within the next candle or two. Sometimes it just doesn't do a pullback and it just keeps going and we miss a trade. But see what I mean? We're at 30, it's pulling back. We're at $70, it's bouncing off of it. And for some reason, if CL goes down 30 ticks from here, oh well. We're not going to break our rules. Look at YM. Look how many times it came down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And actually, I probably should put this here because it's been up here a few times too. Well, Servinus, we have the indicator here, that the round numbers indicator. So I just treat that as an obstruction. Yeah, but David, you knew that the markets are going to be like this till after the election. But we have been able to get a trader future couple one or two trades in. Let's see. Why is this showing a percentage now? I don't want that. Oh, that's why. All right, everybody on YouTube, I think we're done for the day. Yes, Scott, I could give you that. One second here. Here you go. Here's the link. All right, everybody on YouTube, we're going to be ending the streaming for today. Stay tuned. We'll probably be doing this once or twice a week. I don't know yet. But thanks for attending.